Good morning, everyone. This is Futures Brizio. It is Monday, March 4th, just after 9 a.m. New York City time. Hope everybody had a great weekend. and I did not make a video Friday afternoon. I actually wasn't feeling well. In fact, you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm a little stuffy. So I didn't really do a lot on Friday anyways, because, again, I wasn't feeling well. But I just wanted to do a quick review and an update of what's going on this morning. So this should be pretty quick. First of all, the one trade I did take Friday was right here in soybeans. You can see this quick short that I took. Obviously, I was in and out of this pretty fast because price quickly reversed. I took a short off of this resistance level. It didn't really last very long, but it was a profitable trade, just not very much. But that was the only trade that I took on Friday. Because, like I said, I just wasn't feeling well. So, looking at soybeans this morning, if we go out, we're on the hourly chart now. You can see we took out this structure. This was technically the last swing high before this low was put in, but it's kind of a minor area. So, you know, I had two boxes drawn. I had this one drawn across here, which is the one I took this short off of, and then this is the more major swing here. So now we've taken out this one, so we can eliminate this box right here. So now we're inside of this range. This happened during the overnight, and we're trading inside this range. So I'm going to keep an eye out if we get a breakout. We tried to actually break out here, came back inside. So if we get another breakout and I see price close back above this high, then I probably will consider taking a long position in soybeans, thinking that, you know, at least have a short-term reversal, and a trade, you know, maybe back up to this area would be probably a good place to target initially. Could run into a little bit of resistance right in here with this area, but ultimately I think that it would get through here. This is more of a minor area within this larger downtrend that was caused by this swing high. So that's what I'm looking at for soybeans. Just waiting to see if the market does anything today. It might not, so we'll have to just keep an eye on it. So with live cattle, so the market's not open right now. It doesn't open till 9:30. But just looking at the chart, I mean, we're right in the middle of a big up move. So unless we see, you know, a nice pullback here of some kind, then I'm probably not going to be trading this because I'm not going to chase this. But, you know, if we get a nice pullback into some area here at the open, but it would have to happen pretty quick. If not, then I probably will just leave this one alone today. I mean, ideally, I'd love to see a pullback, you know, somewhere maybe into this area. But that's, you know, even though this is a 5-minute chart, that's still quite an ask to have it come all the way down here and then back. But we'll see what this does. But like I said, if it doesn't and it just kind of drifts higher here, then we'll just leave that one alone for the day. So, excuse me, crude oil. So, crude oil, I'm actually in a trade right now. So you can see prices going up out of this. I got in here a little bit late. This should have really entered back here, but I'm in now. I do have a target set up here. However, I do expect price to run into some trouble when it gets to this level. So depending what it does when it gets to here, I think it will get up to here. I may have to manage the trade, but this is the target right now, is probably further up this way. But I do think crude will make a run up to these highs, whether it does it today or not. So that's a nice little breakout out of this zone. Like I said, it is a late entry, but nonetheless, I think it will be okay. All right, and then looking at the Nasdaq and the S&P, you know, heading into the opening. So here's Nasdaq. So kind of this little sideways drift right here, not really anything too impressive. So I'd love to see it, you know, kind of pull back a little bit more, and then perhaps at that point resume the uptrend. But we'll see. We've really been moving sideways since Friday around like midday, around noon Friday, which is pretty typical. It really did nothing during the overnight. It tried to come up, retest this high, and then settled back down again. And now, we're basically trading, essentially inside this range here. It's pretty obvious. So, we could see potentially a false breakout to the downside and then a move back up, or we can move right off this zone and go up. But, we'll have to see what happens. So we'll just keep an eye on these. There's nothing obvious on that I see. And it's kind of the same thing here on the S&P. You can see the S&P has drifted lower. Unlike the NASDAQ, which is pretty much sideways, the S&P is drifting lower. We go out to the higher time frame. There's still, clearly in an uptrend here. And so, again, I do kind of visualize this move down as more corrective. This is all, overnight and pre-market trading. So this one, potentially you could say, well, if we get a break, above this area here, then, maybe that's a good bullish sign. So I'll be watching maybe this area, in terms of longer term support areas. Again, they're out here. And then, the longer one is out this way with this one. Tighten this one up a little bit here. So these are kind of some of the longer term support areas for this. So, we could see this drift lower. But, as of right now, this is the most recent swing. So this one's a little clearer in terms of potentially a long setup if we get a breakout. If we get some bullish, engulfing candle back to the upside, then this might work out as a long, but we'll see, what the market does. Again, usually with these, if the market is not active during the pre-market session, which it's clearly not, it's just kind of drifting, then usually, you get a lot of manipulation during the initial open. So generally for the first at least half hour, I tend not to touch it no matter what it does, because it's just usually price manipulation, unless it's just some real obvious bullish, engulfing and breakout that sustains on a short time frame where we, get a definitive close. But if we just see it whipsawing around, I just ignore all that until things kind of settle in. So that's what I'm thinking for the S&P and NASDAQ, potentially resumptions of the uptrend, but, again, got to wait and see what the market gives us. So, but that's at least what it looks like during this pre-market session. All right. So that's a quick look, guys, what's going on. Like I said, active in crude oil right now, but everything else, we're just kind of standing pat and just seeing if anything else comes along. All right. So hopefully I'll be able to shoot an update out later on, and we'll see where we ended up with things. But that's the way it looks this morning here, about 10 minutes before the North American Open. All right. Have a good rest of your day. Questions, comments, leave them down below. Please smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're just finding it. Helps the YouTube algorithm. And find the link to my Discord channel, which I'm just starting to build out, in the description below, too. And join that if you so desire and you have Discord. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good rest of the morning. Talk soon.